Hi guys, greetings from the great state of Washington. I'm coming to you from my sister's old bedroom, hence the wonderful wallpaper in the background. Sorry about that. I hope the presentation is going well so far. Hope you're learning something. And I hope this video thing works, because if not, I feel really bad for my group. Speaking of groups, we are talking about small group communication. So, there's a couple things I want to talk to you about. First one we're going to talk about today is going to be the individual, small groups, communication, and society. There's a couple of factors that influence small groups in society, and it's kind of interesting because small groups are their own society, so to speak. So one of the things that influences those are power structure, hierarchy, those kind of things. And the other thing that influences them are going to be cultural diversity. We'll get into that a little bit. So first, let's talk about power. The important parts when it comes to power is that each group should have leadership. Sometimes the leadership is shared equally amongst everyone, but for the most part, most small groups end up with leaders or a leader, and they can have two types of power, either implied or actual, or as the book puts it, legitimate power. Legitimate or actual power comes when a leader is chosen or picked by the group, and implied power is more when people take ownership, but not everybody may necessarily agree with it. It's important when you are talking about hierarchy and structure and those kind of things and power in a group that whoever the leader is uses the leadership appropriately. You don't want coercion to go on where the leader says it's going to be my way or the highway and everybody needs to do it like I do, because that's going to hurt your small group's capability to be effective, be innovative, and those types of things. It's basically going to become a one-person operation that just happens to be made up of multiple people. So that pretty much covers power. Next thing we're going to talk about is going to be cultural diversity. Cultural diversity can be very beneficial to small groups as long as a couple of things go along with that and happen. First thing you have to have with that is going to be cohesion and an interdependent relationship. So with cohesion, it's basically the idea that everyone works together and everyone values everyone else's ideas. And as an interdependent relationship, I don't think that's the right word, but I'm going to use it for now, and I'll come back to it. Basically, it's the idea that how one person in the group does is as good as how everyone else does. And so you need to be able to trust each other, rely on each other, and bring out the best in each other. Alright, so things that cultural diversity can really help with are things like innovation and performance. And when it comes to innovation, having culturally diverse groups can really help. When you think about it, the more minds that come to the party and bring more experiences and bring more intellect, bring more ways of looking at a problem, the more likely you are to solve that problem. There's been several studies shown that prove this. And then also, when it comes to efficiency and performance, the more diverse a group is, the better a group performs, as long as they have the cohesion and things like that going on as well. A lot of studies show that high levels of cohesiveness and diversity may weaken barriers that inhibit communication, and it also really improves the capabilities of the group. Basically, 2 minds are greater than 1, and 3 minds are greater than 2. The group process, I should say, is really important in the groups, especially when it comes to diverse groups, because group processes refers to basically how open you are. in every group, obviously, there are people who are more vocal and outspoken. I tend to be one of those people. Other people tend to be more shy and reserved. And if you have positive group processes where everyone is communicating openly and freely without judgment and things like that, you're going to have better outcomes because those people who tend to be quieter and things like that will be able to speak up and bring their ideas to the table instead of maybe focusing in on an idea that isn't as good but is said louder by the person who is vocal and things like that. Really interesting thing about group diversity that I found in this chapter, though, was that group diversity really improves the enjoyment people have while working in the group. As long as there's the cohesion, like-mindedness, and those kinds of things going on, people always seem, in one study, people always enjoyed themselves a lot more than in homogeneous groups where everybody's the same. The next section is on ethics and small group communication. There isn't a lot covered there that hasn't already been covered 50 times in all the other chapters. Basically, be truthful, be open, be honest, have an open mind. One thing that was interesting, though, is make sure that you're not sharing in the group things that others might consider privileged or anything like that. It's really important ethically to have an open mind. That way you can judge ideas and things like that based on their merit and not based on the person who said them. Try not to have preconceived ideas in small groups. It becomes less effective. Finally, the last thing that I'm going to talk about today is going to be improving small groups and communication skills. We talked about cohesion, and cohesion occurs when team members trust each other. So trust is a really important thing, and trust can be gained by the longer a group stays together, or by doing trust activities when leaders put people in charge of things and those things get done. So trust is very, very important in small groups, as far as the more you trust each other, the more you rely on each other, and the more effective you are when you do that, the more it's reinforced, the better off everyone's going to be. But 3 specific bullet points that the book talked about to improve are: focus on strengths of all the group members. Obviously, it's good to be diverse and bring a lot to the table, but if you don't listen to what other people have to say, or you don't realize that this person might be better at this specific task you're trying to complete, whereas this person might be better at something else, and use those tools properly, it can hurt your quality of the small group. Remind the group of common interests, backgrounds, and experiences. Doing this can help build cohesion, prevent unnecessary conflict. So again, that kind of goes back to the like-mindedness. If everybody knows that they're all on the same page and everything, and they have common interests, and they all have the same goal in mind, then a lot more can be accomplished. And the final bullet point for improving small group communications is be observant and notice when a member might be feeling unappreciated or uninvolved in the group. Encourage that person to participate. So obviously, again, the more people that are there giving their 2 cents and sharing their life experiences, the more likely you are to find a creative problem or a creative solution for any problem. That pretty much covers small group communication. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.